Hello children, in this video we are going to study about the autotrophic nutrition. What is autotrophic nutrition? It is a mode of nutrition where the organisms are capable of preparing their own food. Such mode of nutrition is called as autotrophic nutrition, and the organisms are referred as either autotrophs, or you can also call them as producers. Very good example for autotrophic mode of nutrition are plants and blue-green algae. In this video, we are going to study in detail about the autotrophic nutrition in plants. The process by which the plants prepare their own food is called as photosynthesis. The word photo refers to light, and synthesis refers to manufacture or synthesizing something. In this case, it is going to be the food, or photosynthesis can be defined as manufacture of food in the presence of light. Before we go in detail about the photosynthesis process, let's study about the structure of the leaf. The picture here shows the cross section of the leaf. So the leaf has a upper epidermis. We all know epidermal tissue, or the epidermis, is seen throughout the plant's body. Epidermis covers each and every part of the plant's body. So the leaf also has got a upper epidermis. It is further covered by a waxy substance called as cuticle. This waxy cuticle helps to prevent the loss of water. And thus, waxy cuticle and upper epidermis forms the first layer, or the first structure of the leaf. Within the upper epidermis, you will be able to see parenchymatous cells, but these parenchymatous cells contain the plastid called as chloroplast. The chloroplast in turn contains a green colored pigment called as chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is very important for performing the photosynthesis process, and the parenchymatous cells in the presence of chloroplast, we call them as chlorenchyma cells. And if you see the picture carefully, the chlorenchyma cells are very loosely packed or very loosely arranged. Thus, you are able to see a lot of air spaces between the cells. And the last is going to be the lower epidermis. It performs the same function, and it is also seen throughout the plant's body. But the lower epidermis is not a continuous layer, because there is going to be a small opening seen in the lower epidermis called as stomata. This stomata mainly performs the function of exchange of gases. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, or water will be lost in the form of vapor. So any kind of exchange of gases occurs through the stomata. And this stomata is guarded by or supported by kidney-shaped cells called as guard cells. And these guard cells plays a very important role in the opening and closing of stomata. Now, let us see the raw materials that are necessary for performing the photosynthesis. The first is your carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is taken in by the plants through the opening called as stomata. As we have discussed, the main function of this stomata is exchange of gases, and thus carbon dioxide, being a gas, is going to be taken in by the plant through stomata. The second important raw material is your chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a substance or green colored pigment that is seen within the leaf itself or within the plant itself, and it has two important role to play. The first role or the first function of chlorophyll is it gives green color to the leaf because it is a green colored pigment. And the second important function of chlorophyll is it traps the sun's energy, especially the light energy, because light is important for performing photosynthesis. The third raw material that is necessary for the plant to perform photosynthesis is water. Water is absorbed by the roots of the plant. These roots are finely divided, forming the root hair. This root hair absorbs the water from the soil along with the mineral nutrients. We know the mineral nutrients are dissolved in the water, and thus the root hair absorbs the water and the mineral nutrients through a process called as osmosis. Because of the difference in the concentration of water in the soil and inside the cell, osmosis occurs, that in turn helps in the absorption of water and mineral nutrients. The last raw material that is necessary is sunlight. As we have already discussed, sun's energy or the light energy is going to be trapped by means of chlorophyll, which is available in the atmosphere in abundance. And thus, chlorophyll traps the sunlight for performing photosynthesis. So, all the raw materials are provided to the plants. Now, the plant is ready to perform photosynthesis. There are three main events that occurs in the photosynthesis process. This is one of the important board question which you can expect. Write the main events of photosynthesis or write the three main events that is involved in the process of photosynthesis. It comes for 3 marks. First event that occurs in the process of photosynthesis is absorption of light energy. It's so obvious. The light energy has to be taken in by the plant so that further processes is possible. So the first event is absorption of light energy. The second event is further having two important points. Here, the first event is going to be conversion of light energy into chemical energy. This is one important event that occurs at the same time. The the process of photolysis also occurs. Photo refers to light, lysis refers to break up. So, the photolysis is the process where splitting up of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. So, two events occur at the same time. And the last event is going to be reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrates, which is nothing but our food or glucose. So these are the three main events of photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis can be easily understood in the form of equation, which will also help you to remember the three events of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide combines with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll prepares or synthesis your carbohydrates along with oxygen and water. Sunlight and chlorophyll are related with each other because we know that chlorophyll traps the sun's energy. So, absorption of sun's energy by means of chlorophyll is the first event of photosynthesis. The second event is conversion of this light energy into chemical energy. And we can also see the photolysis occurs where the water is splitting up into hydrogen and oxygen. I hope you can understand the oxygen which is going to be released as the byproduct of photosynthesis is being from the water molecules, right? This is one important board question which you can expect. Oxygen released during the process of photosynthesis is obtained from dash, right? So the answer is water. The water breaks up into hydrogen and oxygen, wherein oxygen is released into the atmosphere. So this is one of the important board question you can expect for 1 mark. Now, we have also given carbon dioxide. The plants require carbon dioxide for performing photosynthesis. So, reduction of this carbon dioxide. What is reduction process? It is addition of hydrogen atoms or removal of oxygen atoms. In this case, we will consider the addition of hydrogen atom because the hydrogen that is being given out in the second event through the photolysis is going to be utilized by the carbon dioxide. This hydrogen will help to reduce this carbon dioxide so that it forms or synthesizes your food, which we call it as glucose. Now, you may wonder, how was that possible? There are only one molecule of carbon dioxide, but glucose formula is 6. Please do understand, children, any chemical reaction that we write has to be balanced. So, 6 molecule of carbon dioxide combined with 12 molecule of water, whereby resulting in glucose C6H12O6 along with the release of 6 molecule of oxygen and 6 molecule of water. Yeah, we have seen that there are 3 main events of photosynthesis. All the 3 main events of photosynthesis need not take place one after the other. This can be proved with the desert plants. What are the characteristics of desert plants? Desert, it is going to be extremely hot during the day and extremely cold during the night. And we also know there is very little availability of water for the desert plants. And thus, in case of desert plants, the events of photosynthesis will not take place one after the other, but the carbon dioxide will be produced or released by the respiration process of the plants and various other animals living in the desert. And thus produced or released carbon dioxide are going to be stored by the plants during the night time. Whereas during the day, the stored carbon dioxide is utilized for photosynthesis. Because night, there is no sunlight, thus photosynthesis cannot be performed. During the day, stomata cannot be kept open because loss of water will be more as the temperature is going to be more during the day. So in such a cases, the desert plants will produce or release and store the carbon dioxide during the night time, and it is being utilized during the daytime whenever sunlight is available.